Hey guys, here's another robot tutorial or guide for you. The last video we talked a little bit about how we could use this position here and then come out like that. And we're focusing on bringing the elbows back to the body. So I want to kind of go over a little bit more about that, what else we can do, and then I'll add a few extra things in there too. So in the last video we focused more on very straight angles, right? So these angles are more like squared, like up, out, down. So you think about it more like toyman, like very toyman-like angles. But I also kind of went over a little bit about like how you can come back and you can use you can bring your elbow to your body in different ways. So what I'll show you now is diagonal lines. So if we have an angle like this, we'll start off with a diagonal line. Our elbow's touching our body and this is touching our shoulder. So it's already like a diagonal. What we do from here is we still kind of focus on bringing it up like this, right? So now we can start off up here. It's still diagonal line, but we can come in like this. And the good thing about this, the diagonal lines, is you can connect it to the more straight lines as well. So just focus on this for now, and I'll show you what else we can do with this concept. So if you look at my elbow, it's kind of like drawing this kind of like curved line or diagonal line, right? So the elbow is kind of like, it's drawing a shape as it comes in. And this angle, it's just a very different way of moving, and it actually looked really cool. And I think more people should focus on the diagonal lines as well with a robot, because it's just very underrated. Now, I'll show you what else we can do. If we do have a straight line like this, we can still do that diagonal line. So rather than coming straight up, or straight out, or straight up like this, take an angle like this, which is just the diagonal line just turned up. We can still keep this diagonal by going up like this, right? So your elbow is still drawing this path. And now this is just a different way of moving as well, because not many people really move in and out like this. It's a little bit more unnatural to move up like this, or it's not something you would usually do when you do decide to move in everyday life, basically. So we can move in and out like this. And the good thing about this is when we come up to this position here, I'll show you very soon what we do from there, but basically it leads into the next thing I'll show you afterwards. So stuff like that. So yeah, focus on diagonal. The first one was here, out to there. The next was just turning your hand up and then bringing it out like this. And the next one is down here. So we can still form this diagonal line, right? The elbow is still drawing this line straight down, if that makes sense. And you can do these with both arms as well, right? So I'm just showing you pretty much one arm at a time, because it's easier to show you with one arm. But yeah, it can be done with both arms as well, right? It's a little bit harder to do these with both arms, because you kind of, see what I mean? It's a little bit harder to do it like that because your hands are crossed, but you can definitely do them. Same with these angles, right? Even here. Yeah. So what else I'm going to show you? The next, I'll try to be quick with this, is how you can connect this, to here, to here. So we can go from this diagonal line back to, like the last video I showed you, the square lines, right? So if we wanted to, we could go up, up, out, down, and back to the start. We can go up, up, out, down, or we can go down, up, So we can connect the square lines to the diagonal kind of lines, right? That makes sense. And yeah, there's so much we can do from there. It's like here, up, out, boom, boom, boom. You can think about toyman angles, boom, 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 boom. Like there's just so much stuff you can do with toyman. But that's why I like these diagonal lines, because they're less used angles, right? So I will show you one thing as well, which is also from the last video, but it's just adding on to that. So if we are in this position here, rather than just coming straight out like this, I want you to do one hand coming out, and then this hand just comes in, or does something else basically. So like this, right? So we can do the diagonal line, in, boom, boom. What else we can do is we can bring this arm up, and then this one comes out like this. So we could do stuff like this. We could do stuff like this. So as this arm comes out, for example, we can bring this up. So we can go like out. We could have two hands like here, and we could bring one up and one's doing something else. So basically just one arm's doing one motion and the other arm's doing another motion. So it is still this angle here, but out. Or if I'm here, then it would be like here. Or we have like one up, one down again. One could be coming out, and one could just be doing like turning. We could do this. We could do this. Like, you know what I mean? Pretty much there's so much different options you could do from there. However, the next thing I want to show you is how we can connect this angle, right? So, like I was saying, this diagonal line connects to here, and this angle is where it all leads into like your animation kind of stuff. So, boom, 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 boom. And you notice my palm's facing inwards, and this angle is facing out like this. So I'm not like this. My hand's not facing forwards. It's always facing me when I do this. So I can go in. And this particular angle looks a little bit cooler. You feel the stretch under your arm as you do it. It's kind of stretching. Boom, 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 boom. And what we can also do from here is complete the rotation. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now turn the wrist out. Boom, 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 boom. Or we can go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can get into that toyman. Now we can turn the wrist and start getting into the toyman angles and stuff. So you can use this as a way of connecting. But if you just want to do like a really cool animation or something, right? So we can just go like straight up, here, boom, we're into it. Boom, 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 boom. Turn, boom, 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 boom. So that's the beauty of this particular angle here. And it just looks really cool as well. So the next thing, if you have enough time, which hopefully we do, is like the 3 types of movement I want to go over pretty much. So wrists, most people know these movements. Wrists, okay, you're just isolating a wrist, 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 or so that's one movement. Second motion is elbow. So you're extending, like opening and closing and extending. And then we have basically like shoulder angles, right? So we have like these types of angles where our arm's staying still. I'm just using our shoulder to pretty much guide everything around, like this. And I did show you the diagonal lines with this, so that's part of the shoulder movement that not many people do. But there's one more type of movement that I feel like gets forgotten as well. It's actually rolls. So our shoulder can actually like, we can roll this, right? Here, we can create this rolling motion. And this is where robot starts to actually look a little bit cooler when you can add these rolls in. Boom, So I'm just basically gonna try to explain it a little bit better, right? So if we mix all these angles up together, hands or wrists, extending, and then we can like focus on the rolling with the shoulder, or the just moving around into like toyman angles and stuff. It gives you a way of freestyling the robot. So now you can start freestyling everything that I just taught you, and you come up with a lot more cooler stuff. So I'll just kind of demonstrate it. So this is just going to be freestyle, but pick any angle you want. Maybe here. So I'll go. This is shoulder movement still. So I'm still using my shoulder where it's going boom, boom. This is the turning motion of my shoulder. And then I could like come in, out, up, in, out. And from here, this is where we can use the roll motion, right? So I could be like here, or here, here, out. Maybe we can get like up like this, or down, up, down, up, or here, down, up, here, out, here, here, roll down, roll up, down, boom, 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 up, up, boom, boom. Now we'd use the elbow a bit more, because I'm not using elbow very much. We go in, boom, 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 boom. Maybe try some diagonal lines. Diagonal. Rolling. So basically that's what I'm just trying to explain is you're using all these different angles I just taught you to freestyle a bit. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, diagonal lines, and yeah, pretty much the different types of movements, angles, lines, toyman, going in and out of toyman, and yeah, give it a try guys, and let me know if it helps.